Hey there, everybody. Welcome back to the Planes, Trains, and Comic Book channel. My name's Matt, and today we're going to review Eat the Rich #2. But before we get into that, if you guys wouldn't mind sharing, subscribing, all that good stuff, it really helps me out and lets me know what you guys want to see more of. So with that being said, let's get straight into it. All right, so Eat the Rich #2. Now, I know what some of you are thinking, Matt, on Eat the Rich #1, you said you weren't going to review it or go further than #1. Well, by public demand, I guess we'll say, people wanted to know what the story was continuing. So I figured I'd at least do #2, see if it gets better. So with that, we got Eat the Rich #2. You got the cover here. She's all bloody. Looks like a pretty good cover for a horror book. And we start off right after what she saw on the beach. So we get, if you don't remember what happened last time, this girl is meeting this guy, Astor's parents, for the first time. He's super rich. She's not necessarily poor, but she's just, middle class probably. And then she was nervous to meet his parents, but then he was even more nervous for some reason. We don't know why. And then part of this, like meeting the parents, was a retirement party for one of the staff members, like the people that work at the house. And it just seemed really weird. Everybody was acting kind of off at the party. And then at the end of the party, when it was like, all right, everybody, say goodbye to George, or whatever his name was, the guy that worked there, he walks off, and then she went to the beach because she was like, everybody's being really weird. I need to get out of here. And then she sees the dad and a couple of the other people murder George and cut him up to what looks like they're going to eat him. And so this is right after that, I guess. She goes to bed, and she's like, this is bad. This is really bad. We see she kind of remembers what happened. And but then basically her boyfriend can't sleep, so he's on some kind of Ambien or something, and that totally knocks him out. She wants to talk to him, but she can't. And when she tries to wake him up, he basically is just like, he can't put sentences together. He's kind of like, I don't understand what you're saying. What do you mean you need to talk? It's fine. We'll talk in the morning. Don't worry. Everything went okay tonight. And she's kind of freaking out, but she defers to his, I guess, sleep medication. Like I guess it's so overpowering of his mind right now that like she's just like, whatever, we'll figure it out. You go back to sleep. So she decides to walk around the house, try to see if she can find some evidence to prove to Astor that this in fact did happen. As she's looking around, she sees the trash can and stuff, but there's nothing that's really obvious. There's like blood on stuff, but if you're cooking with meat, that's not necessarily something that's going to be out of the ordinary. Then she sneaks into an office and finds a note that's labeled Astor, and then someone walks in behind her, and it turns out that it is in fact the nursemaid for the baby, for Astor's little brother. Her name is Petal. Petal starts talking to her and just kind of outright says like, oh, I know why you're freaked out. Don't worry. Basically, yeah, all this stuff's going on. She just reveals everything that's going on. And we find out that this family, and probably a lot of families in this area, are offering like top choice life insurance for you and your entire family for life, as long as you sign documents that say you will work for them your entire life, and then when you retire, they get to kill you and eat you. At least that's what it makes it sound like. At least they get to kill you. I don't know about the eating part. You get to be part of some ritual, but that is in the contract, that you're definitely going to die by us murdering you. It's weird because Petal doesn't seem too fazed by it. Like, she's not crying about it like, oh, I signed my whole life away or anything. She's like, actually like, hey, it actually is like the best health insurance you could get. They pay for everything. I don't have to pay for anything. My whole family's covered. And all I got to do is die when I'm ready to die and retire. So kind of like a win-win. I mean, I guess when most people retire, they don't die necessarily, but depending on on when you decide to retire from this family, what are your duties? I don't know. For her, it might not be so good because she's the nursemaid. So unless they have another kid, or unless other kids live in the house, I don't know. Maybe she could transition to something, but who knows? And who's really broken up about it is Joey. She's like, that's horrible. How could you let them do that? And Petal's like, actually, it's not that big of a deal, or it's not that bad of a deal. And then the baby was playing with the envelope and got it open, and then we find out what's inside is actually a ring that I'm assuming the dad is going to give Astor tomorrow to give to her to like propose to be in this family. And I'm going to leave it there. I don't want to spoil the ending of this, but basically like that's kind of it. I mean, this one was definitely better than the first issue, but the thing I'm noticing about this is there's not a lot of graphic stuff happening. It's like all about tension, right? So if you're buying into the story, or you're along for the ride on this story, if you like the story, you're going to have a lot of the tension that she feels. I unfortunately am not really into the story so much. So she's got tension, especially in the first issue. She's got tension just about meeting the family. Everybody has anxiety about meeting the family or what's going to happen at the party from Master's point of view, or everybody's being weird in general. So there's just that general anxiety going on anyway. But she seemed to be like amped up even more because she has like panic attacks and has to go to the beach and all this stuff in the first issue. And so to me, I'm like, panic attacks, that's not scary to me. I need to see, let's see some more fucked up, like them sharpening knives, can't waiting to kill the guy or something. I don't know. Things like that. I did like in the first issue, they had like the bones in the ground, in the dirt, in the sand, that like the baby just picks up and starts playing with. Things like that were creepier and needed to be peppered around a little bit more for me to get into it. This one doesn't really have any of that at all, except the tension of her having seen the actual murder, and that's like, and then no one can hear her, right? Like her boyfriend is too zonked out on sleep meds to listen to her and understand what's going on, and also just like she doesn't want to mess it up, kind of thing. So like, it's weird because if I saw my parents-in-law murder someone, I would just be like, I'm going to tell my significant other, and then if she's not okay with this, then we're going to leave. And so then I'm going to leave at least. I'd be like, see ya, we'll figure this out, but you need to either get out of here with me or you seem to be cool with this, and I am not. So I don't know. I don't see the like, what is the argument in her head for staying and not calling the police or something, So like, I guess if you buy into the premise that she's just anxious and nervous and indecisive because she loves him and she loves him a lot, and what's going to happen, because even the ring at the end of the story is kind of like, does she go along with it because the ring is there that he was going to propose? So they're kind of throwing that out there to be like, the turmoil's inside of her, like choosing whether to be okay with murdering someone or being part of this family because you get to be rich. So I don't know. There's not much of a choice there for me. I mean, I've never been in that situation, so I guess there might be if that was actually happening. But so far, no one has offered me gold or rings or marriages to stay in a murder family that sacrifices people or whatever. So not yet, at least. So. But one of the parts that I thought was kind of it broke the tension way too much was the whole Petal storyline. So in this issue specifically, when like there's a lot of tension, and I was feeling the tension from when the boyfriend couldn't hear her correctly, and then she goes for a walk. You're like, what's going to happen? Who's she going to run into? Is it going to be the mother-in-law? Who's it's going to be the dad? She's going to run into someone as she's like in the office or whatever. She runs into Petal, and I wish Petal had been more coy about everything. If she was more aloof about what's happening, then it would build the tension more in this issue, and then there would be more of like well, is something actually going on, or was I just crazy? And so like, she could have played it like what are you talking about? I saw George leave the party or whatever. And like, you could have had her kind of cover for them instead of just be like, oh yeah, it's all what you think it is. It's a big murder family and they just give really good health insurance, and that's what it's about. So I just felt like it could have been instead of revealing, this is like the actual plot of the family and the comic and everything, if she had been more secretive, it would have built the tension more and made this issue more mysterious. I'm still not digging this one completely. I thought this issue was better, but like I said, it broke all the tension when Petal came in and just like revealed the whole story. So I think I gave the last one a 2 out of 5. I'm going to give this one a 3 out of 5. It was a better read, like, because the tension was there. I just wish they had not killed it with the, giving away the whole plot and everything right away from the caretaker there. So but let me know if you guys want me to continue this. I will finish it out if that's the case. That's it for this issue, and we'll see you guys on the next one.